It's a short one.
Need a motion?
I need a
I'll make a
motion.
motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
I just thought I'd give you guys just a quick update on the Stellar projects. So the first one, a reminder of the sidewalks. So those are, I don't know if you guys seen the updated maps or not, but it's basically Western Row. There's a short segment at the end of Spangler, going to Seahawk. There's going from North Street from Holland down to 262. There's a connection at Central Avenue from basically Civic Club to Park.
It is
And-
going down Holland,
Not down Holland.
not down Holland,
You know,
okay.
and then there's one from Linover, from basically the Dillsboro Mobile Home Park to the library. And then Rollman from the grocery store to Holland.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, okay, I was
Yes.
wondering. I
Yes.
asked the guy out there who was
Yeah.
doing the thing, I was wondering if that's what it was. Cool.
Yep, so we talked to everyone we need easements from, we've been talking to, we don't need easements from you, but it would go
Okay.
through your front yard.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm fine with it, that's fine. I'm gonna be my revision now.
Yeah, so we have to submit a application by the end of this month. It's kind of like a formality, I guess, this with the funding. But the plan is by next, probably early spring, we should have the design completed, we'll go to bid. Then hopefully the contractor starts sometime in the summer and then kind of wrap up towards the end of next fall.
Awesome.
And then the North Street project, that's the one, it's a different federal funding source. It's drug out longer. And currently it's not set to be approved for construction funding until 2029. But we have just got an early start on some of the design work on that. So once we get some more details on that, I'll kind of share that as we go. There's no question on that. We'll kind of move on there.
You have any other business?
That's the only old business I have. For new business, we had a new member appointment. So I'll just ask you guys to help me out. If you have someone that might be interested in joining the commission, I don't have anyone in mind yet. I'll probably try to start looking around some more. But we see someone fill Tom's spot since he resigned last meeting. If there's no questions on that, or no suggestions, discussion, anything like that. One Dearborn reached out about their invoice and their agreement. So last year, we did a 1-year agreement with One Dearborn. Christina?
Hello. So sorry.
You're all right. One Dearborn, there are the county's economic development agency. They were the actual applicants for the Stellar Pathways program. They really have probably stronger agreements with some of the other cities in town and the counties in Dearborn County than they do with us. We, in a sense, we kind of just help them, just to throw a little bit in for their efforts for Stellar that they did for the town. So they have sent that same agreement back for 2026. And then the invoice for it as well. Pull that up.
Where's that money coming out of?
The redevelopment's tip district,
And how much is in there?
so I'll pull that for you. Great question.
Because I know we took some and put into a CD, correct?
Yeah, we took 200,000. Report.
How long did we put that in for? Do we remember?
Is it 6 or 12 months? I think it's 12.
I think you were looking into, I think it was 12.
That's good because the rates are dropping right now.
So right now, we have $38,000 in that fund, and that does not include that $200,000 CD. And I think we're estimated to get around $15,000 next year. So that's kind of our And it's been slowly increasing, so as the property assessments within our district goes up, that little incremental increase goes directly to this commission, that TIF fund. So that should go up as time as property assessments go up.
So do we want to pay this for the next 2026?
Is this for the, one Dearborn?
Yes.
Anybody want to make a motion on
Have we, they were very instrumental in us getting the
Stella?
stellar,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't.
Anybody want to make a motion to,
I will. I'll second.
all agree? Aye.
Yep. And then do we want to renew that? So that'll pay that $3,500. And then we also have the renewal for a year too.
I say we do that as well.
So that's a total of what?
I think it was, let me pull that down. I think it's 3,500 again.
So that's 7,000 total?
It's 3,500 per year, so that we get another invoice this time next year.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay,
I see now.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, wait,
yeah.
I thought we just said yes about that.
I could be backwards. We might have paid them up front last time and we might have just paid them for the next agreement. But we should probably still vote to approve the agreement if we want to do that.
Yeah, it looks as if they'll invoice us, by October 31st, for September 1st through August 31st, so,
Yeah, it's $3,500. Yeah, invoice.
yeah, I say yes.
Is that a motion?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I'll second that. All in favor?
I,
Yeah. Now, let's jump back up to the top. We have appointment of commission president and vice president. With Tom Walker resigning, we don't have a president. And we do need the president's the one that is to sign off on the agreement. As well as some of it. So the only other really obligation they have is kind of run the meeting.
Anybody interested in that?
I mean, I'll do it, but that's the only real change, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. If someone else wants to, by all means, do so, but. I will.
Quite welcome.
I don't think I'm not there yet, yeah. Give me a little bit longer.
Who's vice president now?
You know, I was thinking about that and I couldn't remember. I could look at the.
I think I'm secretary.
You
right
were
now.
secretary.
Mhm.
might
It
be.
doesn't matter to me, whichever one, what you guys want to do.
You can double check. I was wondering that earlier. I don't think it was.
I don't know that we had one, did we? Or was that Derek? Derek was what?
Daryl?
Derek,
Oh, it was,
Oh, Dustin.
Dustin,
Yeah,
my
that's
bad.
right.
I'm-
Yeah.
Dustin was.
Yeah, you're right. So we probably should have probably should have filled that then.
I'm crazy with that, might be.
You're right.
Yeah, because Dustin was like, it was Tom, then Dustin, then me.
Yeah.
so Christina, you want to be president?
Yes, would you like to be vice president?
Yeah. I'll
Would you like to be the
vice
secretary?
president.
That sounds
Yes,
great.
I will do that, that's fine.
There we go.
Yep.
I do a lot of
So
secretaries.
that should be a motion, a second, and a vote.
Motion second,
So you're gonna make. the
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
We'll
All-
Is
all
everybody in
agree.
favor, say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
All right, good job.
Yeah, I'm getting, I watched Tom for a long time.
I'll
I
watch
did a
you
real good
now
time.
and then
Yeah,
eventually
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
step up
There
and
you
do something.
Okay. The other thing I had, going back to new business, just kind of an update. Dearborn County, the Redevelopment Commission sent a representative, Jim Deaton, to our council meeting, Monday. And they are looking at the prospect of establishing a TIF district on the western edge of town, basically around SCI data, from our western edge all the way to Stoops Road. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's nice. I think the county's, willing to invest. I think it'd be nice if the town could do that. It's tricky to do the annexation, and that's kind of why we've not really been able to do that right now. But they're supposedly voting on that Monday. It was explained to me that if we were ever able to annex that area, that TIF district would go to this redevelopment commission.
Okay.
Good. So I don't necessarily see a bad thing to it. I mean, it'd be nice if we could control that a little bit, but I still think it's a good thing. We want to submit a letter of support. I know they've asked that from council. Like I said, or you guys are welcome, they've asked if we're welcome to attend that meeting Monday at 5 p.m. or whatever it was.
Right.
But I just want to at least make sure you all are aware of that. That's all I have, unless you guys have questions on that.
I don't think that sounds like a bad idea for us. I mean, it wasn't something that really made good sense for us to do it, but.
Right. Well, the state's got that 1/6, I think it is, boundary rule where we have to annex in 2 phases to get there, and it was.
Right, that was,
Yeah,
because I
somewhat.
remember we talked about that probably last year this
Yeah.
time, and it
So
was
that is
just,
coming down 50 though from, let's see,
The district?
Yeah.
It's, yep, so the first property out of town is, the guy that has the old looking gas station.
Yep.
So that's the first property out of town.
Yep.
It'll start right there on our western boundary, and go all the way to Stoops Road.
okay,
And then I don't think it's coming too far, it's not going to Spangler, like to the south. But it's, they're talking about around that area, maybe like all the properties along US 50 there.
well, that's what I was gonna ask him that night. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they publicly share the map or not,
Well, he said it wasn't gonna be until Monday before
Right.
the CD gets brought up, so, yeah.
possibly a good thing.
Yep.
And then the last thing is our 2026 budget and our TIF spending plan. I have included, just for a reference, what we did last year.
Under this English spending plan, isn't it?
Sorry? Yeah, that's it. This is a front and back. On the line. So last year we included $10,000 for capital expenditures. The thought behind that was we had that agreement with Serenity Pines, the Grover's family, on their development about potentially supporting them on their street light improvements. But he still hasn't given me no information as far as what they're proposing, or hasn't asked us to prove anything yet. So that's why that hasn't been touched at all yet.
question, kind of side note on that, is that private property or is
It
that, okay?
Well, the street's public, it's public right away.
My son was riding his bike on it and someone came out and told him that it was private property and he was like, I'm on the street. And I was like, and he asked me about it. He said, do I need to stay away? And I said, I'm pretty certain that's public
So the
property. I
gra-
mean, that the street portion.
The gravel area is private.
When I asked him, I said, where were you? And he was like, I was on the road. He said, I was on my e-bike and I was turning around. And I said, well, that's public road. And so that.
Yeah.
Figure, I told my investigator,
Yeah.
because if it was, I mean, I obviously don't want him on private property
Right.
either, but
Right.
I said, I'm fairly certain that that's public up until, I said, you weren't on the grass or on the gravel or on, and he was like, no, I was on the road.
So
Okay.
it's currently just has that T dead end.
Yeah,
So it's, and then there's 3 phases to that subdivision. I mean, it will connect. So the one dead end, if you go straight, it's just eventually gonna be a cul-de-sac, how it's currently planned, and then the other one would kind of loop around and go over to the duplexes.
has he sold the other house as well?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard if he sold them.
Okay,
We got utilities to him now. So, I mean, there should be close to being, it should be ready.
right,
So he doesn't own all of that from that gravel that goes to that duplexes, that goes straight to that road?
He does own that.
So why would that be private property?
Cause it's done in phases, so phase one is
Ah,
basically what they've paved right now is the phase one road. So that's been dedicated to public right of way,
okay,
but the phase 2 and 3 is what makes that loop and what will make that cul-de-sac.
okay,
And that's not, and he said he's not gonna do that, I don't think, until he builds out phase one.
all right, yes.
And then that gravel's supposed to just be a temporary access for emergency vehicles. That if there's emergency, they can get through since there's not currently a connection.
Yeah, he put a fence up down
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
our gate,
Yeah,
to keep you from going across there.
yeah, we've got some complaints, people complain about people speeding through there, so.
Okay.
Well, now I got a question. The part up there that's, paved,
Mhm.
is Dillsboro still have an offer to him to? I heard Dillsboro had an offer for him to put down and bring those up to speed or something.
Up the code.
And then then the town would take over the,
You still gotta do the final coat of asphalt, is that what you're talking about?
yeah,
Yeah, he's really drug his feet on that.
but that's what I mean. I live out there in one of the duplexes.
Yeah.
And that road just keeps getting worse and worse and
Oh, that's
worse.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the wintertime, he doesn't clean nothing.
Well, that is private, those roads are private,
But he owns them.
right? That's on Chris,
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm
but
saying.
the Leanna Drive, the new section, that's public.
But what he's asking is if.
Would
he-
be like Lake Drive and
That's true. No,
Superior Drive, those drives like that. I thought Dillsboro had an offer to him that they would take that over.
I'm not aware of anything like that.
Okay.
I know, my understanding is they weren't ever built to spec, didn't do the quite, the right thicknesses on the pavement and the base and that sort of stuff. I know we have discussed, because there's a state grant for road repairs, basically.
Mhm.
And I know we informally talked about if he would pay for the match to get him up to the current specs that the town would accept. So that might happen at some point. Hopefully before this whole subdivision's done, we can do that so that it's all kind of nice and cleaned up at the end. But there's nothing formal yet.
But, with Chris, he'll cut corners as much as he can,
I agree. I've seen all of it. Yeah, you gotta stay on, for sure. But that's what that $10,000 was. Like I said, we don't by no means have to use it for that, but we do have that agreement with Serenity Pines, the redevelopment commission does. And I think there was some language in there about us approving the street lights.
Can we, throw a time limit on that? Like it has to be done by next year this time?
We already have the agreement. I think, I mean, without reading it right now, if he defaults on it, I think we could renegotiate it.
Okay.
I think there was a timeline, but like I said, I can't remember if it was. 'Cause
Maybe
we
just
we
curve that
did
and let's ask about it and see what
Yeah,
our, because I felt like we kind of already had it, like, this is what we're gonna do last time, or maybe 3 or 4 times ago.
I can't remember. Jerry, was that with the council we talked about that, or was that with redevelopment commission? Because we just, about a year ago, that's got one. Sorry.
So I
I'm sure.
remember that we talked about the possibility of him doing so much and then we take over the roads.
Yeah,
And then that would be us.
Yeah.
But I don't remember, I know the street lights and that, I think we were like up in the air on that
Yeah.
council
He come
about
in,
doing those.
he come in here once with,
Yeah.
and showed some of that stuff,
Mhm.
but that's the last.
if you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and share with you the agreement we do have. And then, because it probably would be good to just kind of familiarize yourself.
Because I thought we had pretty much discussed it and said that's the ones we like on the street too,
Right.
and the new, when we're redeveloping the downtown area. So that's what we had decided, yeah, that was the same light we wanted in Serenity Pines, so.
Yeah.
It's all coming back, just.
A little bit, a little bit. So I guess just, we can change any of this as we go. I'm probably gonna suggest we just keep it the same. Like I said, I don't have any substantial plans. Like I said, mine still, I think as a goal, and it's not urgent, but I do think it'd be nice to have that fifth district kind of in our North Street corridor. You know, that way, by the time 2029 rolls around, you know, hopefully there's some interest in some people investing in some of the buildings, and we can help support and
Mhm.
facilitate that and offer, you know, some sort of assistance to them to do that. So that's why, you know, we do have the $3,500 you can see there on D1. So that's essentially our agreement with One Dearborn. And then number E, or letter E, section E, that I got $5,000 in there, just as professional expenses. You know, if we ultimately do, are able to get maybe you might need a consultant to help us get the TIF district set up. And then I think that's all I had. But this kind of shows, you know, other items that redevelopment commissions could budget. I think this is just a standard form, actually. You want to see that?
Thank you.
I made a note on there.
That's right.
I, motion to accept these as our annual spending for next year as well.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I think I have mine, so you can make a note on it again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna edit this before we leave, so then we can sign it. I've got to change the dates on it. That's all I have, unless you guys have anything else for discussion.
All right, I make the motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye. How about your pen? Are we supposed to sign these? Do you want?
Yeah, we need to sign one of them.
So now you